My parents are from Nigeria. I am one of 6 children. My dad spent most of his career as a professor, economics professor at Howard University, and my mother spent most of her career as an early childhood educator, also in the DC system. So we were all raised really understanding the importance of education and being lifelong learners. When I was 7, my entire family went back to Nigeria, and I felt like I really got to know my family, my relatives, immerse myself in the culture. When I was 16, we came back to the United States and we settled back in Washington, D.C. I wanted to go to college to major in biomedical engineering. So I went to Harvard, and it was a very exciting time. The Milken Scholars program was extremely important to help me get used to Harvard. Halfway through my college career, I began to have interest in business and other pursuits. A couple years later, I graduated from Columbia Business School in 2007 with my MBA in finance and entrepreneurship. After graduation, I got married to my wife, Jennifer. The Monday after my honeymoon, I began working at Bristol Myers Squibb. I work in the HIV marketing team in our US business, and I'm focused on building and driving our HIV brands to make sure we reach most patients that we can and make sure they continue to live their lives more fully as they continue to deal with what is now a chronic disease. The one area where my professional life and my Milken Scholars life intersects is that with the Partner for Cures conference that's put on by the Faster Cures organization of the Milken Institute. I'm involved in it as a personal volunteer, as a Milken Scholar, as well as a professional from Bristol Myers Squibb as a healthcare professional. I think it's extremely important that you bring together academia, industry, public policy, and of course the business communities to bring the best ideas and innovation to make sure we bring medicines to patients fastest. It really is a very energizing, collaborative environment that's really great for the entire industry. I definitely would recommend for all the scholars that are able to participate as alumni or as volunteers that they definitely take advantage of this. When I think about my career long term, think about my heritage, think about the developing world, I really want to be involved in bringing some advancements in healthcare to the emerging markets, to underserved populations, and be very much involved in that. When I think about my career, I really want to look back and say, I did well by doing good. I have 2 wonderful daughters, Zoe, who is 5, and Elle, who is 2. And they're fantastic, they're great. They're already very excited about education.
Whenever I think about the future for my kids, I always feel like in each successive generation, we want a little bit more for our kids, right? So, Chin and I are very proud of having gone to Harvard undergrad and of the work that we do. And when I think about the girls, it's really about giving them all of the opportunities that we had, but then also, expanding that.
My wife and I met in this group in college called the Kumba Singers, and Kumba is a Swahili word for creativity, but more broadly means leaving a space better than you found it. And so I think about that principle. I think about where I want to leave the world better than I found it, leave the world better for my girls than they found it. And so the most important thing to me is making a difference and really making the world better than it was when I got here.